Hey guys, welcome back to another episode recap of today's Days of Our Lives, March 17, 2026. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. Now we start off with Holly, Maggie, and Sarah. They're in Victoria's room checking in on her, and they also got a chance to talk about the recent happenings, which is Stephanie is found and Jeremy wasn't the guy after all. And Maggie talked about how she, said her apology to him and he was gracious enough to accept it, and she's just glad that she was wrong for once. I mean, yeah, you really treated him like he was a town pariah. But anyways, Holly got the chance to talk to her aunt Sarah, and they took the pregnancy test. She is surprisingly and not surprisingly pregnant, right? So Sarah's thinking, maybe she needs to go use another contraceptive method. Maybe the pill is causing her to have these other side effects. But then she asked her about the skin supplements because, again, I don't understand why nobody thought of that, right? But she looked at the pill bottle and she realized that, it's not regulated by the FDA. So probably, it maybe needs to be examined. Holly has a lot to think about, and, she leaves and Maggie and Sarah talk, and Maggie is saying that she's glad that Holly got a chance to talk to her because maybe it would have been uncomfortable for her to talk to her own grandmother. Now they talk about Xander. He brought a lot of gifts for the baby, and also how he's been very nice with the small gestures, but he hasn't really come around when it comes on to bigger things, and he still has his temper that Sarah's worried about, because even when she said that he needed to go back to work or take the day off, whatever, so that she can watch her, Xander got belligerent, and she's worried that it may pop up stronger than ever, and she's rethinking this custody arrangement, but at the same time she wants him to be a part of their daughter's life. So Maggie has said that, okay, she's not really that supportive of Xander being a husband, partner, brother, whatever, but when it comes down to being a good father, he definitely is one of those, and she is 100% supportive of Sarah's decision to do that, right? So we get to see the new Rachel, because remember, Alice has exited Days. She's on to bigger things. I think it's House on the Prairie. So now we have new Rachel. I think her first name is Lorelai, or however it's pronounced. She is doing her first episode today with Marlena. Marlena was on the phone with Kayla, just checking in with her, and is elated that Stephanie has been found, and she is looking forward to meeting up with them at some point. Rachel overhears, and then Marlena is saying to her that Stephanie is okay, and she wanted to go visit her, but Marlena said maybe let Stephanie get her bearings first, and then you can go visit her. Now she said that means Jeremy's not innocent, right? So she said no, Jeremy's actually innocent. So that's not good news to Rachel, because Rachel's not really fond of Jeremy. But anyways, it reminds her of her mom taking the fall for her mistakes with shooting her uncle EJ, and she's worried about EJ going back on his word and he being upset with her still. So she said that EJ already know that it's a mistake, and he doesn't want to see you go to jail or get punished for it. He knows it's a mistake. He loves you dearly. So she said it's just gonna be weird seeing him again, and they talk briefly about what Belle said about how to conduct herself at the hearing. Somehow she did something that was out of line by pinching Marlena. So there's an Irish myth or something like that if you don't wear green on St. Patrick's Day, you're supposed to get pinched. But either way, Marlena said regardless of the holiday or whatever, it's not right to pinch someone, right? So she was really alarmed by Rachel's imminent behavior. Rachel asked if she could help her with the cookies because turns out they were underdone or something like that. So she said, no, I got it handled. So when Rachel went out to check on the mail, which she asked her to do, she's just looking at Rachel like, something's off. Rachel gets the package, and turns out it's the vitamins from Sophia. She texts Sophia, and she said she doesn't live at her grandma's place no more, and she told her that she got the vitamins. So it seems as if she's really got manipulated into doing Sophia's dirty work. Ari comes home and vents to her mom about what's really going on. But firstly, Gabby tells Ari that, to check in on Harvey because Harvey's going through a rough time, especially with Leo. It's nothing to do with his father's ailment, but at the same time, he is upset about what he heard about Leo escaping with Dimitri. And then when he called Leo, he overheard Dimitri's voice in the background. So, everything that he had for Leo is just gone out the window. So Ari's not surprised. Ari said that I'm glad that he's wising up about Leo. And I hope that Leo and Dimitri live unhappily wherever they are and never come back to Salem. And Gabby's even agreeing with her on this for once. Now, Ari talks to Gabby about everything that's going on in her life, that Holly has been awful to her these past couple of weeks, and she's just tired of it. She doesn't seem happy for her that she's gotten into the sorority house, even though, Holly urged her to go do it. Now, Gabby gave her some sage advice about, dealing with it, and yeah, that was really it. Now, Holly comes back to their dorm room and Ari's there. It's already awkward, so Ari's just like, okay, I'm gonna leave because Holly told her, thanks for allowing her and Tate to have the room. Ari was asking how it went and it went well. So Ari just said, okay, I'm gonna leave. So Holly's like, before you leave, I just want to apologize for how I've been acting towards you, how I've been treating you these past couple of weeks. And, maybe it's because of the pills I've been taking. It's been causing me to be erratic. And she said, oh, I guess that is. So anyways, she asked Ari if she wanted to hang out with her later on with Tate. And, I'm with Ari on this because you just keep third wheeling her. And Ari's like, no, I'm not interested in third wheeling and I have plans later on. So she said, oh, you're going to that event at the sorority house. So she said, are you really happy for me that I got in? So she said, not really, because I would think that you'd be more sensitive towards my feelings that I didn't get in, and you would decline because you're my friend and all that. And I'm just saying, whether she's under the influence of the medications or the supplements or whatever, that's no way to treat your best friend. It is just so selfish and disgusting and annoying. She just made it all about herself, and she's not a real friend if she's not happy that her friend got through or got approved or something. If you don't even get approved, why you can't be happy for your own friend? I don't care if she's under the influence of something else, just rotten behavior. But anyways, she does tell Ari that, she is upset about it. She didn't lie about it. She didn't mince words about it. She said she is not happy about it. So she tell Ari that, Ari should have done the humble thing and, not get accept the sorority offer or whatever. And Ari saying that, look, you've just been on this awful pattern, going to Paris, leaving me here, the whole thing with you under the influence of drugs, the whole thing with you, setting our dorm room on fire, all these behaviors, and I've ride for you all this time, and you have not ride for me no time at all. And it's like, it can't be that I'm there supporting you throughout to everything and you're not doing the same for me. You're not a real friend. So she's unfriending her in real life. She can't take this no more. It's too much, and it's either she moves out or she moves out. So Holly said, okay, I'm gonna leave. I don't even like being here. And Ari's like, okay, you do that. But I agree. It's just too much with Holly nowadays. So this was a very weird encounter or scene with Gwen and Philip. So earlier, Gwen was just talking to herself about the fact that EJ got arrested and, the pod has been moved. So now she's worried about her bottom line. And Philip, I don't think he overheard everything, but, he came over and he bumped Gwen's drink and, it spilled everywhere and she's upset already. And now that made her more upset. So he apologizes, but then he's like, okay, I'm sorry about all that, but probably you shouldn't be talking out there in public about something that you don't want other people to hear. I mean, I am a victim of that. I used to do that a lot. So she doesn't want his unsolicited advice, but then he proceeds to do what he always do in true Philip nature. So he sits down there and, well, he offers to buy her a drink and she agrees to that, but she doesn't want his company. But he still goes ahead, buys her a drink, sits down, introduces himself formally, and he knows who she is and all that. And she already know who he is, but she just doesn't want to talk to him at all. So he kept going on, and Gwen is being obviously annoyed at this point, and she's like, why don't you buzz off? So he said, I can't really. I'm waiting for my girlfriend to come, and that's when Gabby arrived. So again, it's a who knows who thing, and everybody's surprised they know each other. So Gwen is like, you two know each other? So Philip is saying, we just met, and Gwen is like, you really have a fine boyfriend on your hands. So anyways, she, Gabby can tell that Gwen is visibly annoyed by the interaction with Philip, and she leaves. Philip is saying, you know this woman? So she said, we're not really friends or anything, we're just really friendly. So anyways, they sit down and they talk about the whole Stephanie thing, and Gabby asks if he has visited Stephanie yet. So he said no, he's just waiting for her to just, just be around family and all that. He will visit her later on. So she's just happy that Stephanie has been found, and, she heard about the reward money and that Jeremy didn't take it after all, and maybe he can help Titan's bottom line. So Philip is saying that Jeremy didn't take the reward money because, one, he's trying to piss off Alex at this point, and at the same time, he just doesn't want to accept any money from Alex or from the company. So he's just happy, whatever his reason, they can use it for Titan's bottom line, because they're really sinking at this point. And Gabby's saying that she hopes that everything pulls through. And he tells Gabby that he has been keeping a secret. Xander and Maggie told him not to say anything, but he feels as if he can really trust Gabby. So Gabby said, yeah, you can trust me. And Philip was about to say that, what is happening with Titan is all his fault. So I guess he's going to confide in Gabby that he I guess he lied, he forged the letter, and also he lied about the whole encounter with him and Xander. But again, Gabby knows all this, so let's see how her facial reaction is. Back to Alemania, Leo and Dimitri, they're still working on the plan how to, exonerate Dimitri. Leo also saw that Stephanie has been rescued, and he's happy everything went well, and that Jeremy is not the person that did the kidnapping. Now, while that's happening, Dimitri also found out some information that could be helpful in his case, and he talks to Leah about how they will go back to the estate. So they're thinking about doing disguises, but then the way how Leah was describing it, Dimitri would be found out anytime soon, and they would recognize he was the one that they're trying to frame for staying there. Now, Dimitri came up with the bright idea that Andrew and Paul, since they're looking for him and they have a personal vendetta, maybe they can use them and the ISA to actually do their work so that they can find out that Dimitri is actually innocent after all. So Leah said, after all this, are you really going back to Salem? So he said, yeah, I have unfinished business. So he said, it's not like you really have anybody that's really there for you and all that. I mean, your world's your oyster. You can go somewhere else. So he said, no, I gotta really see to it that me and Gwen are divorced, and I need to see her suffer for what she put us through. And Leo is agreeing with that, and he can't wait to see the look on Gwen's face when they're exonerated from this whole thing. Now, at some point, something struck Leo, and Dimitri had to rush to him. But yeah, that was really it for today's episode. Comment below your thoughts on today's episode, especially the whole thing with Holly and Ari, and it's just too much, this teen drama between them and Sophia. It's just annoying to watch. But yeah, let me know, guys. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow.